Now we're recording. Oh my God. Okay, guys. Yes, this is live from the Center of Peace, and this is the Oracle. I'm Marilene Isaacs, and you've not seen me here for a while because of weather and different things. And I got guided by Holy Spirit tonight to do a spontaneous Oracle. This would be the normal time on a Wednesday night that we would be doing these. For those of you that are new to what an Oracle is, about 35 years ago I started doing Wednesday night, actually I was doing Wednesday night, Sunday nights, spiritual teachings. And what an Oracle is to me is sharing information that I get constantly from Spirit. I get very direct transmissions. I'm not a channeler. I don't let things take over my body or my mind, but I know that I've probably had a lot of past lives as connected with the Oracle of Delphi and this kind of thing. But I get instant information that comes in of how to deal with what's going on in the world and a wide array of subjects. And so I started doing them. And they're always different. It's nothing you're going to read in a book. We'll do a guided meditation. This will be a short one. So you're here with Gracie and I. And Glenda, my assistant, is running, trying to run the technology. And we're hoping that you can hear us and see us, and because many times we've had some difficulties, but I know people have had a lot of cabin fever, and I've been trying to post a lot of things about be still and know, go within, value and treasure being snowed in. And I know that's easy for me to say because I work at home and people come to me and I didn't have to be out in this, but I think one of the most interesting things that I found, and people were so nervous, what do I do? We're so used to being entertained, to being stimulated, to being addicted to getting up every day and going from point A to point B to point C, that I think we've lost our authentic lives. So I think weather pretty much is an outward manifestation of the group emotional body. So they say this is the worst, I don't want to use the word worst, the most intense storm, second most intense storm in the last 30 years so that we've had. My way of viewing outward weather, outward situations, they are a reflection of us as individuals or a reflection of the group emotional body. So when this cold front came in and the snow came in, the first thing I did was to kind of go outside and just feel the stillness of the energy. I didn't race to the grocery store. I didn't go. I figured, hey, you know what? Just be in the moment. And took a lot of pictures, felt the energy, tried to go within, tried to become one with what was happening. And I would advise everyone, even the stages we're at now, because people are starting to go back to work, back to school, when we get in a reactive place with what's happening in the outer world, we're separate from it. Anytime the lower mind goes, I don't like this, or judges, this is a bad thing, this is a good thing, this is a storm, gee, what am I going to eat? Who's going to entertain me? A lot of people's TVs went off, electric was off, you couldn't get on your internet. And half the people that I then communicated with said they loved it because they read or they actually could connect with the family. They actually got to everybody. Nobody had to be at a certain practice or had to be at a certain destination where the family could all of a sudden be together at one time at night, like old-fashioned days when people didn't have separate schedules and different things going on. So I think a lot of what's happening in our world right now, we've had such an overload of stimulation of activities in the outer world. And then it came to having an overload of stimulation with computers and with cell phones and texting and with 15 minutes of fame, doing whatever, really going inward, but very self-absorbed. So again, I think the weather, I think the times we live in, the present time that we're living in, it's happening for a reason. And so I would advise everybody, feel why it's activating you. What about being snowed in pushes your buttons, good, bad, and different? And again, don't put a judgment, but what did it bring out in you? What did it bring out in you? And again, I think we have been programmed to run away from ourselves. We've been programmed to be like rats in a maze that, again, get up every day, go from point A to point B to point C, and to be work-oriented. And if we're home, instead of relaxing, meditating, really going within, connecting in a direct way with family, with ourselves in an authentic way, many people were just climbing the walls and cleaning their houses, and that's a good thing to do. I've been doing that. Clean, get rid of things, but go deeper. Whatever is going on right now in this deep, deep, deep freeze that we're experiencing, use it to heal. Don't oppose it. When we go into an oppositional viewpoint with something that's occurring and we are critiquing it and we're separate from it, we're not fully engaged and we're missing present time. Present time is here to stay. How we perceived time as an illusion of linear, it was an illusion, and it's done. So past, present, future happen all at one time when you are in present time, when you're fully engaged in the moment like babies, children, animals are. They're in now. They're in the eternal now. When you go into that state of being where whatever's happening, you are one with it, that's when miraculous, positive, good energy starts to flow into your life. Because when you're not present and you are experiencing something, but you try to control it, fear and control are the same thing. So when you try to control and react, you keep yourself trapped in a way that's very unpleasant. There's a lot of discomfort. So if you're feeling discomfort, breathe into it. If you're feeling whatever you're feeling, go into that feeling, or take time to relax. Take time to let the lower mind stop the chatter of I've got to be busy, I've got to be entertained, I've got to be doing something. There's plenty to do. Be still and know is what Holy Spirit keeps saying to me. Be still and know. Back in November, when I lost my voice for 8 days, I panicked because this is obviously how, for the last 40-some years, I make a living. I am an intuitive therapist, healer, speaker, spiritual teacher, and I use my voice. 3rd day into it, I loved it. When I let the fear and panic come up, and I went down into deeper levels of hearing and feeling because I couldn't speak, instead of fear, I felt joy. I felt overwhelmed with new pathways of information that were coming through because I couldn't engage in speaking. I could feel creative ideas. I could feel aha moments of being forced to look at my life and things that, why did this happen, why this didn't happen, but to participate in an inner journey with it instead of constantly being engaged with doing the readings or talking or any kind of distraction. I was forced inward. It's like people who take vows of silence. For example, back in 1987 to 89, we had a television show called The Psychic Connection. It was a live audience, live call-in from Comcast Studios. And one of the most amazing things, I got a letter from the Carmelite nuns here. They said, we would like you to come and speak to us. And I called and I thought, wow, I think they take vows of silence. I wonder how I'm going to speak with them. And they assured me that on 1 day a week they can speak. So they wanted me to come. And they had been watching my television show, which I found totally amazing and loved, because I've always had a connection with all religions, all faiths, all walks of life. I'm very non-judgmental. I'm very open to all people and animals and life forms. So when I went, the most fascinating thing that they expressed to me and why they found the show interesting, when because they make the holy vestments for the church, and they take the vow of silence, and they're one with what they're doing, shutting off that connection with talking and interacting. Guess what happens? They have amazing visions. They have amazing spiritual, intuitive experiences. And they wanted me to explain and decipher some of the dreams and some of the visions, and to explain why they were having the experiences that they had. And it makes sense. It's like blind people. When there's a loss of sight, or people are born blind, they develop incredible hearing oftentimes. So again, it doesn't matter what the senses that you're not using or that you're blocked from, other things manifest, other things grow. So again, whatever circumstances you're finding yourself in right now, go within. Try your own vow of silence. Turn your phone off. You don't want to lose your voice like I did. It was a very interesting journey. And you don't have to take a permanent vow of silence where you speak once a week. But try it for 4 hours. Turn your phone off. Turn your computer off. Turn your TV off. Go within. You'll be amazed in a very short time. It might not even take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour, hour. When you're not speaking and you're not sitting waiting, who's going to be texting me? And don't text. Turn your phone off. When you're inward and you don't have all these things bombarding you that your lower mind loves to be addicted to. Our lower mind loves to have that addiction of constantly looking at our phone, constantly text messaging, which is a whole other subject. How there's such a confusion with communication. I mean, there's handy things about text messaging, but there's also very confusing things that can happen. So try this. Try every day, even if it's just for a very short time. Let go of all the outward wear and tear, stress, positive, negative, whatever stimulation that's going on. Go within. At first it might feel very foreign. It might feel very different for you. I guarantee you, once you go farther into that experience, you will enjoy it. You'll have interesting memories, interesting in the moment flashes come to you. You'll have insights. A lot of why people have powerful dreams where you work through things is because during the day we're so distracted with work, with outward stimulation, with the lower mind chattering, with all the different distractions that the higher self, who has a direct link with God, with Holy Spirit, is trying to communicate with you, trying to guide you, trying to say, let's do this, let's do that. So when you go to sleep, you are shut down into the outer world, and that's when you have lucid dreams. It's when many times you'll have amazing dreams because you're in that state of being receptive without the bombardment of the daily grind. What you're going to find happening as more and more there's this awakening to that there really only is present time, and that linear aspects of time are very 3D, matrix-oriented, programmed non-realities. This waking up to that there really is only now, only present time, as that becomes more and more as a conscious reality for yourself, for people around you, for the world, for the universe, amazing things are going to be happening. Instead of walking away from people, situations, and thinking, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have said that. Why did I fragment? Why did I not speak my truth? You're going to find more and more things that held you in bondage, things that you normally would have a lot of people are emotional terrorists. A lot of people around us, we've gotten used to people manipulating, controlling. We've gotten used to being programmed to turn our power over to other people. From the time we're born, we're very powerful little beings. But very early on, you start to get the idea that you don't know a lot. You know, school's going to teach you everything, or religion's going to tell you everything, or, you know, the most powerful gift you were given is to be a co-creator with God. You're made in the image of Creator. You're given the power of co-creation with Spirit, and an amazing gift that has a double-edged sword. It's called free will. So the last many incarnations, in the last couple of years, has been a winding down of learning through karma, learning through repetition of lessons. If you are sick of self meeting self, if you're sick of no matter what you do, the same things seem to happen over and over and over, that's a good thing, because that's not the way to learn. And that is not working or happening that much anymore. You can stay in that space, or try to stay in learning in that reactive way, and it's not working. It's short-circuiting. Self is meeting self is meeting self. All Dharma is when you get off of that wheel that wants to keep, as the world turns, drama, trauma, things that push your buttons, that keep you trapped in a lower brain, the reptilian brainstem that wants to have duality. This is a bad thing. This is a good thing. These are good people. These are bad people. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm black. You're white. I'm Muslim. You're this. You're that. All these things that divide people are a functioning of lower mind and the reptilian brainstem that we still have. We all have it. And what does a reptilian brainstem want to do? It wants to fight, or it wants to have flight. It wants to get down and be in opposition or run away. And what you're going to find is that more and more and more, you won't want to fight, and you won't want to run away. And the moment that you're in, instead of it repeating like Groundhog Day over and over again, you will fulfill that moment. That's what Dharma is. That's when you are in a moment, you're in a situation, you get a big picture, you speak your truth, you feel safe enough to be yourself, and that is finished. Then you have a breakthrough. Then you start living your life not in bondage, not in a way where you are captured. You all know what I'm talking about. You know, I hear this every day of my life in my readings, and we've all experienced this. When we perceive ourselves as a victim, or we perceive people as roles. You know, people say, you know, I have this terrible boss. Something's wrong with the relationship with my father or my mother. Or part of what the problem is are the roles, are seeing ourselves as a role and seeing someone else as a role. When we perceive ourselves as a child, as a daughter, as a son, as a this, as a mother, as a father, there will be negative and positive expectations of roles from other people. One of the quickest ways to heal any relationship is to kill off the role. And I'm a firm believer that's what happens when people get married. All of a sudden, there's a wife, there's a husband, there's these labels that immediately, for some reason, it brings out good, bad, and different things about expectation. Unconditional love does not have expectation. Unconditional love does not mean being a doormat either. Unconditional love, the open heart of compassion, doesn't have attachment. In Buddhism and in different paths, what's taught, attachment, whether it be a positive or a negative attachment, is what brings all sorrow. And why is that? That's because the ego has an attachment to the outcome or an attachment to what's going on. When you have attachment, you limit. It becomes very self-limiting as to what the divine blueprint is, to what the higher self of yourself wants to bring into manifested form can do. So it's extremely important lesson right now. When you are going back to work, instead of thinking this person is my subordinate, this person is my boss, this person is the CEO, or you're all people. There's an immediate separation when you see yourself as a badge, as a hat you wear. Try it. Go into the workplace, see yourself, and see everybody else as people, not the role. Same thing. Tons of things always come up around holidays. People act differently. I'm sure you've all noticed sometimes you get around your family, you don't know why, but you act like you're 5 years old, or you're, people get in these very volatile situations. And most things that are pushing people's buttons in general right now are a tip of the iceberg of deeper patterns and old wounds. So it's really many times not about what's happening right in this moment, but it's deep stuff. So I always tell people, do an exercise. In your mind, you can do remote work with people you have difficulty with. And you always want to you don't want to interfere with somebody else's spiritual or psychic space, but you can say, if it's in accordance with my free will and highest good, and my brother or my mother or whoever you want to do, my ex-person, whoever you're trying to heal something with, anybody that in your life that you feel you are still trapped in something that is not healed. And no matter if you think they will never hear what you're going to say, or they don't want to hear or whatever your thing is in the lower realm, it's not happening. Take time to go, if it's in accordance with my free will and highest good and this other person's free will and highest good, I want them to hear me. I want them to feel me. I want to speak to them. And you can say things out loud. You can say it in your body, mind, and spirit. You can, whatever way you're comfortable, get whatever it is out. Whether it's asking for forgiveness, or the anger that you're holding against somebody, or something you want to explain why something happened, but the person has closed that door and they will not hear any form of communication from you. You'll be shocked. The more you take time to go through this, and again, not see them as whatever role or opposition that you saw them in. See them as a child. See them as a baby. See yourself as an innocent child, as an innocent baby. I've had the experience many times with people in family, people around me, that within hours, days, weeks, I would then run into this person, and there was already a softening of any negativity. It was fading. It was gone. Because everything that we think, feel, say, and do goes out into a rate of vibration that is recorded. That is the Lamb's Book of Life. That is the Akashic Record. It's not something that, a lot of people say, oh, I read the Akasha, I do this, I do that. There is a living vibratory record. Everything you think, feel, say, and do goes out into a rate of frequency that is out into the universe. And again, it's not that Santa's helpers are writing down who's naughty and nice. You're creating your own naughty and nice. your motive, intention, whatever it is that you're working on, be very aware. It's not about doing good works. It's not about putting on the face and saying, I'm not really angry, or I'm doing a certain thing. Motive and intention in your heart, mind, and spirit while you're doing an action is what goes out into the rate of vibration. All the masks right now are being removed, and it's very uncomfortable because we've all been trained not to be angry, not to speak our truth, or that there's something wrong with speaking truth. Especially women. Women are taught, we have become very passive aggressive, because when women speak or react in a way that might be perceived as angry or authoritative, then they're called names. And you all know what I'm talking about. So we're in a time that it's going to be easier and easier, instead of hiding or not, or speaking in riddles or fragmenting, because anytime you're not in the moment, you're fragmenting. And then you go back out and have to experience this again. So it's very, very important. This point right now is, whatever you have to do to find that wholeness, that oneness from within, that's what we're all working on right now. The outer world is just a mirror reflecting back to us what's going on inside and what we have found familiar. It's not an accident when you find relationships at work, at who you are involved with, as with friends or one-on-one relationships, that all of a sudden you think, oh my God, this person's like my mother or my father or my brother or my sister. We get activated. We get pulled in by familiarity. I always make the joke, tons of people think they've met their soulmate. There's all this familiarity, there's all this connection, and it may very well be that it is a soulmate connection. When then the other side of the familiarity will come out, and you can then be involved with your cellmate. Lacey's here. She keeps wanting to get in the picture here. And you find yourself chained. So instead of this wonderful, marvelous, open, incredible connection you felt with someone that brings out the unconditional love, that brings out the positive energy, all of a sudden, when fear sets in and people want to control, when they feel fear-based, they go into conditional love rather than unconditional love. I love you if you do this. I love you if you don't do that. So immediately there's a bondage that's formed. There's another level of, instead of learning and being open and connecting, fear comes in. So it's very, very important right now to face your fears. I know in my own personal life, and I know through all the counseling I'm doing right now with people, whatever your worst fear, it's probably been manifesting the last couple of years. Whatever your weaknesses are, whatever your addictions are, whatever your issues are, they are in your face. And what you used to do to not deal with conflict or not deal with facing things, it's not working. You know, Spirit keeps saying this to me to share, because it's how I hear it every day. People can't work enough. They can't drink enough. They can't smoke enough. They can't, whatever you used to do to escape, it is not working. There's this moment of present time that we're in where you're going to see people ascending up or descending down. It's not linear. Whatever is not working, whatever patterns that people have been trapped in, they're done. So you're going to find, and you'll see it all around you, all of a sudden people are meeting new people, forming new relationships. People are leaving old relationships. People are going into new jobs. People are moving physically. There's a lot of immediate, it looks like it's immediate, change. Just like there's a gestation for being born, there is a gestation for death and change. So it may appear that things just are happening suddenly and overnight, but you're going to start to have more and more and more as you take time to hear and feel and go within. You're going to start to feel more and more that connection with seeing everything about yourself in one place. People never have remembered things from when they were born or when they're small children, or having big flashes in present time, good, bad, and different, of things that have happened where they fragmented, where they didn't connect dots. People that have never believed in reincarnation or having amazing dreams, or having amazing flashes of, whoa, wait a minute, I think I understand why I'm afraid of this, or why I am good at this, or why I'm not good at that, or why I'm having a conflict with a person. In this present moment, literally past, present, future are not at all being experienced as linear. They are all at one time. That's why it's been so shocking for people the last couple of years to be in present time. You don't know if you want to laugh, if you want to cry, if you want to be mad, or if you want to be happy, or you don't know. And you'll have experiences, and they're overwhelming in the way that the lower mind used to want to polarize and argue and get into defensive positions, or attacking positions. That's not working out so well. It's making you sick immediately. You'll find that there's a lot that's happening where you are just, it's not working. The answer is wholeness. The answer is going within. The answer is being accountable. And that's another difficult one. A lot of times our lower mind has built up incredible mechanisms for making excuses for ourselves, making excuses for others, when we feel sorry for ourselves, when we feel sorry for other people, there's victimization involved because there's an attachment. When you have a true open heart of compassion, yes, compassion you can have for yourself, for others, but there's not that lower ego coming in that wants to fix it or change it, or that's a whole other mechanism. Sometimes helping others, we are not helping them. Sometimes indulging ourselves in feeling sorry, it's not helping. Is it wrong to feel sorry for yourself? No. If you're feeling guilt, shame, fear, if you're feeling victimized, feel it, but you don't want to stay there. It's not a persona or a way of living or manipulating that you want to be in. So again, it's not that any of these things, we're all human. So of course we all have guilt, shame, fear, victim patterns, sad, isolation, feeling rejected, abandoned. We've all been through it. There's only so many things that happen under the sun. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, to quote a lot of scriptures from a lot of religions. And you're going to get to the point where you go, maybe it's not all personal. It's not just me. And I think that's the biggest revelation people have. Everybody's been feeling like they're alone, they're isolated, they're the only person experiencing these things. No, we're all in this together. It's why I write over and over again when I write my Facebook posts, when I write, or in the readings. The teacher is the student is the teacher. There's no separation. I've never felt that way. I'm not setting myself up as this big know-it-all, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I always share good, bad, and different what's going on, because that's how we learn. No one is perfect. This is not about perfection in this level. The most amazing thing is that we were created to be joyful, happy beings of light. We were created to have free will, to have co-creation. What's the opposite of creation? Destruction. When creative people are not creating, they become extremely destructive. And it happens to everybody. It doesn't have to be just a creative person. And the most amazing thing is co-creation with self, other, spirit, knowing there's not a separation. How do we cooperatively create together? How do we not go into that opposition of the negative? So I know that you're all going through things. We're all going through things. We're all in this together. I'm going to do a short meditation. And I can't read what you wrote. Axis Moon Day. Yes, it is the Axis Moon Day. We're heaven and earth, where there's no separation between heaven and earth. That's what Axis Moon Day is. That's what the Mary Magdalene cross is. It's the X marks the spot. It's the union of male-female and many other exciting subjects we're going to be speaking about. But I want you just to feel safe enough in this moment to relax, to open, to receive. It's safe to be who you are, safe to let your light shine. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask the bodies to align mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, into present time. I want you to feel and know what a beautiful being of light that you are. What a huge being of light that you are. Your physical body is a body temple for the spirit, and your spirit energy goes out 20, 30, 40 feet. You are huge beings of light. You were created out of the love of the Divine Mother, Divine Father. You're a manifestation. Each of you, each of us are unique manifestations. There is no one else like you. Just like no two snowflakes are alike, no two birds are alike. You are a unique expression of creator energy, but given your own free will and own identity. Safe to know and remember who you are, why you're here. And I want you just to feel all the tension leaving the body, mind, and spirit. Feel the magnetic pull of the earth pulling the poisons, the toxins of the body, mind, and spirit. Let it go. Feel how safe it is to be a spiritual, physical being on the earth at this time. The earth is alive, she's well, and she is moving. She is not dead, she's not dying, she is here and nurturing and transmuting energy. Feel the tension you're holding in the neck, in the back, in the head. Tons of people are feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders. Tons of people are having respiratory things going on. This is always about denied rage and anger, resentment. Let all these things go. The last stop is the body. Feel the amazing magnetic loving pull of the mother, pulling all the stress, all the fatigue, all the whatever pains of the body, mind, and spirit. Let it go down into the earth to be transmuted. You are the tree of life. Your body is a walking tree of life. And I want you to feel the amazing energy coming up from the earth, up through your body, through the bottoms of your feet. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask for the activation of your original divine blueprint. The sins of the fathers that go through 7 generations are weaknesses in the lower DNA of the body, mind, and spirit. We ask for a healing, for a transmutation, that these are not repeated. We know that this divine blueprint that we have can override any of the lower DNA. I want you to feel the connection with the earth, with the heavens. That's the great mystery. We are of heaven and of earth, as above, so below. You should feel this amazing magnetic energy pulling the electrical energy of the Father down through the top of your head. We're born with a soft spot in your head. That's our spiritual umbilical cord. I want you to feel this lightning. It's not a punishing lightning energy. It's this electrical spark of divine energy surging down through your body into every cell, connecting with that magnetic energy of the Divine Mother, creating new life, new energy. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life, all pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. I want you to feel your heart. Everybody has gone through betrayal, abandonment, isolation, unrequited love. I want you to let all that go. Within yourself and all around you, there's an outpouring of unconditional love and light surging through every cell of your body. Your body is a microcosm of the macrocosm. Your body is a replica of the universe, and there's only one big body of God, one big body of spirit. We're all in this together. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask for the remembrance and activation of your real purpose on this earth that will bring you happiness, fulfillment, joy, that will bring all of your abilities into this level to be expressed in a way that brings amazing changes for yourself, for others. And we ask Spirit to go deep, deep, deep into the darkest parts of our subconscious, unconscious minds, into the shadow self, into the places where the saboteur lives, the ways we sabotage ourselves, the patterns that we've lived with that keep us believing that nothing's going to change or that are fear-based. We ask any negative umbilical cord on any level that is binding us to the past, binding us to experience dark, negative things, disappointment, failure, anything that's blocking you from prosperity, from fulfillment, from unconditional love. We ask these patterns to be pulled up by the root. We're not just going to cut cords tonight. We're going to pull up the origin of where you went off the divine blueprint. We're going to pull up those connections, and then, and again, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask the Archangel Michael to sever all negative cords that are binding. We ask for restoration of the body, mind, and spirit. You are a vessel of the light. You are the Holy Grail. You are filled with light. You are creating new life every second within your body. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life. All pictures of aging to be turned into pictures of youthing. We ask for the transmutation and instant miraculous things to happen in your life. We send this energy out to all sentient beings, to all life forms. We pray for the consciousness to change of how animals are treated, how people still want to be cruel or to keep animals chained up and keep them out in the cold. We ask for that consciousness to change. People that want to engage in fighting animals or in torturing or being mean to others, mean to animals. This has to change. We're in a time of wholeness. And any of that dark, evil energy that wants to control, wants to do harm is fear-based. And comes from very dark, dark places where the light needs to go. Again, we pray for the healing and restoration of this earth. All the things that in your life that feel broken, that feel like you can't resolve them, just let that light go into those places to heal. That's the amazing thing about light. When they opened up the Egyptian tombs and there were seeds that were thousands of years old, the minute the light hit the seeds, they started to germinate and grow and have life. The same things happens to seeds within ourselves that we are not allowing the light to come in. Once the light comes in, there's a healing, there's a germination, there's an outgrowing of wonderful positive energy. Let that light shine in every cell of your body. We pray for this healing to continue tonight into the dreams, the days to come. And as you return to this consciousness, know that you are so loved, you are so needed, you are so wanted on the earth at this time. And each of you can make a difference. Each of you has your own path. Wherever you are is your path. It's not something that you have to find. You are on your path. Keep going. Keep embracing. You don't have to search for it. It's right there in front of you. Anything, anybody, every day that you can help, they're there, and you can actualize this. Every day should be Christmas. Every day should be these amazing days of actualizing unconditional love. The whole concept of paying it forward is awesome, but it's something that should be just a constant thing that happens. There's no the circle's never broken. When you're sending and receiving, when you're in a constant state of prayer and meditation, and you're in this flow, there's nothing that's separate. There's nothing that's broken. And this is a place that we are meant to live in constantly, not in a state of fear or separation. So I'm sending you all love and healing energy. Next Wednesday night, if you'd like to be here in person, I think the weather will be fine. Give us a call and see what's going on. And those of you that, because there's many people that watch this all over the place, tune in next Wednesday. We'll be here. And but really be aware right now that in this moment that we're in, you can change and heal and transmute anything. You have the power from within. It's not about evoking or doing things in the outer world. It's within you. It's always been within you. It's empowering, the true empowerment that comes from forgiveness of self, loving yourself unconditionally, and being in that place. So I'm sending you all love and healing energy, and see you in many different levels. Thank you. Okay.